A little tale of courage and horses is about to begin. Michelle bravely wants to race, but the horse owner thinks it's a joke since Michelle's body and Prince don't exactly match. You wrecked your neck. Now that you're back, is there any part of you that's not injured? As long as I give it my all, the horse owner is finally touched by my determination and commitment. Otherwise, Prince and I would be history, and with a brother's expert training, Prince turned into an absolute fitness. Michelle mounts him for a thrilling racing journey, making it to the Melbourne pre-qualifiers. Talk about adrenaline rush. 9 racehorses took off like arrows, but during the main race, Michelle was just dancing on the saddle until a surprise occurred at this gave him a chance to overtake, and he seized the moment with all the pep of a caffeine rush, unexpectedly clinching the first in the qualifiers. Just as the dream was within reach, disaster struck again. The fallen jockey was furious, accusing Michelle of crowding him on purpose. Even without solid evidence, Michelle couldn't convince the Racing Association to see things her way. Ugh, women have no voice in racing. Michelle's 20-game ban was a triple whammy. But after 20 matches, her scores still counted, meaning Prince could still race. Upon hearing the news, investors were ecstatic. As long as someone could ride, it didn't matter who. Just then, Michelle's dad ended up in the hospital due to heart issues, perhaps signaling it was time to step back, urging her to give up on her dream. Subtitles. Stop for a moment and seek out a trustworthy partner to live a peaceful and quiet life. The young man also worries that after his father passes away, no one will be willing to accept him. However, Michelle felt a pang of sympathy, saying her brother was like her own flesh and blood. As long as her brother was around, she'd always be there to take care of him. But then he asked a question that left Michelle speechless. She had never thought about that. The next morning, the phone rang, breaking the calm with her sister's words. Dad has... It left Michelle weak in an instant. Her built-up strength crumbled, and tears flowed like a broken dam. But then, in a surprising twist, her dad walked in, revealing it was all just a misunderstanding. Her dad saw Michelle and simply said, "Everyone, the doctor." I organized everything. He meant to reassure his daughter to set her worries free and chase after her dreams. A few days later, the investors were debating who would be the best rider for the horse. The owner suggested Michelle race again. She took the risk. She fought hard for the qualification to race for the Prince, so why not let her have another try? However, most still preferred the male jockeys, as it's all about power in the last 100 meters. Just then, Michelle dashed in, ready to fight for her dreams with courage. She proclaimed that while strength is important, understanding the horse and race strategies is key, and above all, patience. The pursuit of power solely will only result in self-inflicted disaster. At this very instant, Michelle seemed to be possessed by a divine spirit. Everyone fell silent. Then the horse owner chimed in, "Want to know how to win the biggest race? Just listen to Michelle." The partners realized this and unanimously agreed to let Michelle ride Prince in the race, wanting to lift her ban. Auntie believed Prince would win, even with odds as high as 1 to 100. She brought out her savings to support Michelle, reminding Brother Steve multiple times that if they drew number 18, it was an absolute no-go, because no horse has ever won from number 18, but luckily, Big Brother is rooting for Sister. As a representative, he drew number 1 for Michelle, which meant she could easily snatch the inside track. But Michelle had a tough time sleeping that night, remembering what her dad had said, and Brother sent her a comforting text. Michelle's nerves calmed down a bit. On race day, the Melbourne Cup grounds were buzzing, a sea of people, and flowers everywhere. Michelle walked the tunnel, surrounded by family support. Her sister urged her to stay calm while her brother taught her racing. At that moment, Michelle wasn't fighting alone anymore. She was stepping onto the battlefield, carrying her family's hopes. As the host began introducing the riders, the racing field was bursting with excitement. The jockeys were all revved up, and here came the defending champion, Kane. The other competitors were seasoned veterans, and out of the 24 jockeys, there was only one lady. That was Michelle Payne, ranked 5th, but when her name was called, the audience showered her with boos, showing no mercy. The owner told Michelle not to whip too early, keep pace at 800 minus 1,400. Michelle received a big hug from her sister and asked her junior, "Can I win the championship?" He replied gently, "The horse I trained so hard is a champion." His words gave Michelle confidence. As the race started, Dad was glued to the live TV broadcast, fearing he might miss any epic moment. Family members were there to cheer, genuinely proud of Michelle with all their hopes and blessings. Michelle smiled as she walked to the first barrier, gently taking out a necklace to pray silently for her mom and sister's blessings. "Mom, please bless me and grant me strength." When the gates swung open, 24 powerful horses shot out like arrows, but Michelle got left behind in the starting line to talk about a major fail. The audience fidgeted, as if they were pushing all the blame onto the horse owner, while she remained as cool as a cucumber. And please don't forget to subscribe for even more thrilling horse racing adventures.